Welcome to the Neuropathy Support Group and Podcast. I'm Chris, and I'm so glad you tuned in. It's my hope with this podcast to help all of us gather information that might help those that need support dealing with this debilitating issue. Hello, and welcome to this podcast. Before we get started, let's get the formalities out of the way with the medical and privacy disclaimer. I am not a doctor or medical professional. The information on this podcast is from personal experiences and is meant for group support. Additionally, the information discussed is not meant to diagnose, treat, or cure any underlying conditions associated with neuropathy. All names here within are private and will not be shared with any outside sources. Please consult your healthcare provider before making any health decisions. If you have medical concerns or an immediate emergency, please contact your doctor or dial 911. Well, hello and welcome to those that are first-time listeners. I'm thankful and I thank you very much for being here. Well, I said I was going to start my podcast on Saturday. Today's Sunday. I have just been in too much pain. Tomorrow's when I go get my first injection. I just hope it starts working immediately because just sitting here in this chair is hard enough for me to be doing right now. But I'm hoping I can get this posted by tomorrow. If not, it'll be Tuesday. So I'm sorry out there. But I've got a lot of stuff going on besides that. I also purchased my next supplement formula. It's the Neuropathy Maximum Strength from Nuterna. Now, if you remember several episodes back, I used Nerve Renew. And I said I was going to be buying the top number one product that is listed when I do my search. And this is the one here. So I'm going to give it a month. I'm going to see how it's doing. I can't start it tomorrow because of my injection. I just don't know what this supplement's going to do to me. But this supplement actually says take 4 of these every single day, these capsules. And there's no way I'm going to be doing that. This is 600 milligrams, and I'm going to start off slow. I might work my way up to 4 of them, but I'm going to start with 2 first, and then I'll go from there. But this is only a month's supply. Now, I get this from Amazon. I don't get it from the website where these are sold. And the reason is, now you can still do this on the web or on Amazon, but in order to get these, you have to sign up with their club, and that means that they're going to be continually sending you every single month 3 of these bottles, and it costs a lot of money. I'm not going to say that this one bottle didn't cost a lot of money, but you know what? It's better if you don't sign up for the club right at the beginning, just so you can see if this is even going to work for you. Because then you're going to get stuck into something that's going to be hard for you to get a refund from, and we all know how that is. So one of my listeners out there has some real bad foot issues, meaning that they can't or they're not able to walk because of the extreme pain that they're having. So I've been trying to look around to try to find any additional information I can find for this person. I've done several episodes on this, and I've talked about different creams, lotions, cold, heat, put on there, even Bengay, foot wraps, and compression socks. Myself, I wear compression socks, which I have shown you which ones I use, and they seem to work okay. I don't need, at this point in time, anything else on my feet, so that's what I use. So hopefully something like that can help, or even this episode might even help you, hopefully, with the issues that you're dealing with. And again, I'm so sorry that you're dealing with those issues, but this episode may sound kind of funny when I give you the title of it, but it's something that I have read into, and it's something that I've seen and heard other people using that seems to work with your not only your restless leg syndrome, but also it cures the leg cramps that you might be having at night. So hopefully somewhere down the line this might help you also, and hopefully some of those suggestions that I made of things that I've used in the past, maybe this person has listened to some of my podcasts I've already posted, and hopefully some of those ideas will help this person. But let's get into today's title. Now, I do talk about restless leg syndrome a lot. And the reason being is because a lot of people don't and aren't aware that this is an issue for those of us that have neuropathy. And I have it. And when you first try to diagnose it, you don't know what's wrong with your legs. And the only reason why I found out and learned what was wrong with my legs is because when I was in my pain doctor's office, you know how the people that are selling the pharmaceuticals come in to leave their little pamphlets. Well, that's how I found this pamphlet that talked about restless leg syndrome and all the things that what happens when you have it. And when I passed that on to my doctor, like I always tell everybody to do on my podcast, then we started the product Requip, and ever since then it's worked. But coming into trying to figure out what's wrong with you, it can be painful every single night, and most of it, I believe, is because your legs, you're resting at that time, and that's when your legs start to give you the leg cramps and the crawlies and everything that happens with your legs. But today we're going to talk about, can a bar of soap in your bed cure restless leg syndrome? Now, I've heard about also people putting, does everyone remember Vapor Rub? It was like that was the only thing available for us growing up as kids. They would put it underneath your nose or on your chest. I used to do it to my kids when they were growing up. But also they would put it in a vaporizer. And I guess people rubbing that on their feet is supposed to help. I haven't tried it. Maybe I'll do it down the road. But today that's what we're going to talk about. Can a bar of soap in your bed cure restless leg syndrome? And here we go. So the suggestion that placing a bar of soap in your bed could cure leg cramps or sleep orders such as restless leg syndrome has risen from status of old wise tales to being discussed on popular TV station or TV programs. So today what we're going to do is we're going to learn about this home remedy practice, the strength of evidence behind it, and whether it is something that can actually help you with your sleep. So RLS versus leg cramps. First, be certain to understand the difference between restless leg syndrome and nocturnal leg cramps. RLS is defined by an uncomfortable feeling associated with an urge to move that occurs most often at night when laying down. It happens during wakefulness and is typically relieved by movement, especially by getting up and walking around or shifting legs. It may be caused by an iron deficiency and other medical conditions. In my case, it wasn't as good to get up and start walking around. It was better just to take a hot bath to relieve my legs, and I was able to get to sleep better before taking the medications I take now. But let's continue. In contrast, leg cramps are characterized by a sudden and painful spasm of the muscles of the feet or legs. These generally last for seconds, but the pain can persist for longer. Leg cramps have different causes and may be relived by stretching the muscles. They are increasingly common as people get older. No duh. So here's the causes. The causes of restless legs and leg cramps are complex and not fully understood. There is some evidence that low iron contributes to RLS symptoms. It may be due to problems with a neurotransmitter called dopamine. There may also be a relationship to problems in the peripheral or central nervous system, as it can be seen to associate with peripheral neuropathy and other conditions like multiple sclerosis and Parkinson's disease. It may be the final pathway of multiple causes. Leg cramps are often thought to be due to low electrolytes like calcium, magnesium, and potassium, and be brought on by dehydration or physical exertion like prolonged standing. Medical conditions like diabetes, liver disease, or kidney failure requiring dialysis are associated with leg cramps. Similar to RLS, the exact cause of leg cramps is not known, and it may occur due to multiple disparate issues. So here we get with the soap. Soap as a possible treatment. As the scientific basis for these conditions is not well established, the gap in knowledge may be filled by traditional beliefs, personally anecdotal experience, and alternative medicines. This is a popular topic in discussion forums and comment threads, but in reviewing the topic, there is little research accessible. Only a single case series evaluating a soap-scented skin patch for use to treat cramps related to menstrual periods is the only thing that they've come up with. There is no clear rational uh, idea for placing a bar of soap in the bed as means to treat either restless leg syndrome or leg cramps. Some suggest that the soap, however, somehow changes the chemistry of the legs, perhaps through the transfer of ions from the soap to the nervous system. As a general rule, our bodies do not work by osmosis. We can't simply absorb humors from a bar of soap placed near in the bed. The suggestion to put it at the foot of the bed, under the sheet, or even in the sock reveal inconsistencies that undermine any rational basis for the remedy. How could soap in the sock work just as well as a bar placed beneath a sheet or one that is cradled between your lower legs? So here's some of the evidence that they have on this. The gold standard for scientific research evidence is a randomized controlled trial. In this case, there would be two similar groups with restless legs or leg cramps complaints, and half the subjects would use a bar of soap and the other would use a placebo, like maybe a similar shaped piece of plastic. Then the outcomes would be studied, comparing the symptom relief of each group. Ideally, the subjects would be blinded, not knowing if they used soap or the placebo. These studies had not been done, and it is rather unlikely that funding would be secured to do this kind of research, as there is no scientific basis to even consider that soap might work. So the website I'm getting all this information from says, while there may be no harm in placing soap in your bed, it is unlikely to produce any relief. If your symptoms persist, seek with your healthcare provider or sleep specialist about additional, more proven treatment options for restless legs or leg cramps. So, since I have some time left, I found another topic we can talk about because, like I said, I have that one listener that's dealing with a lot of foot and cramps and can't walk very well on them because of the pain. So I found something here that might help a little bit, but it's 5 reasons why your toes and foot cramp up. So the anatomy of the foot and toes. Your foot is made up of several bones, some small and short, some long. So the muscles of your lower leg have tendons that travel down your ankle and connect to various places around your foot to move it. There are also muscles between the longer bones of your foot. They help to shape the position of the foot as you walk and run. On the bottom of your foot is the plantar fascia, a thick band of tissues that forms the arch of your foot. All of these ligaments, tendons, and muscles work together to support and move your foot. They allow your foot to do the things you're used to doing every single day. Alright, so let's get in here for causes of toe and foot cramps. Dehydration might be one of the issues that you may have. One possibility is that you're not getting enough water intake. Not having the right amounts of potassium, sodium, and other minerals can affect your muscles. If an imbalance happens, the muscles in your toes and foot may start to contract uncontrollably. Yet, not everyone who is dehydrated will get the leg, toe, or foot cramp, which is confusing to many. The next thing would be a lack of exercise. When you exercise, your body moves and uses energy. The activity helps keep your muscles strong and flexible. A nervous system that is working well offers better control of muscle tone and contraction. This can help keep cramps in your legs, feet, and toes at bay. The next one could be an issue with poor fitting footwear. Our feet take a lot of abuse each day. The amount of force they are required to absorb and release with each step is far greater than your body weight. Wearing shoes that do not fit well may be causing toe cramps or issues with your foot. Think about the excess stress caused by jamming a foot into a tight fitting pair of high heels. In the same way, footwear that fits poorly forces your feet and toes into positions where they don't work properly. They may rebel by cramping up at a moment's notice. And that's the reason why I made an episode in regards to shoes and socks and my suggestions and the website suggestions are the best to use. Um, Certain medical conditions can also cause your issues with your foot, which is like what most of us deal with, diabetes. But there's also multiple sclerosis and Parkinson's. Age can also have an issue here. As we age, the function of our nervous and muscular systems may slowly decline. Older persons have less water stored in their muscles and tendons. This may cause muscle contractions and tightness in the muscles around the foot and toes. So when should you see a healthcare provider? If you are having toe and foot cramps frequently, you should see your healthcare provider. This will help make sure that your problem isn't caused by something serious like multiple sclerosis or diabetic neuropathy. Both of these are rare, but it's the best to get things checked out. Now I'm going to briefly go over some things that might help get some relief out of these issues I just talked about. Drink plenty of water. Wear your properly fitting shoes. Exercise regularly and include a variety of strength, balance, and flexibility exercises. Eat a variety of healthy foods. And check your medications to ensure that the dosages are right. And also, you probably want to make sure that none of the medications that you're taking are contradicting each other, and that could be causing the issue too. So let's go through the summary here. If you often feel cramping in your toes and feet, you likely want to know why. Common reasons for the discomfort include not having enough water intake, not getting enough exercise, and wearing shoes that are just not a good fit. However, certain medical conditions or drugs prescribed to treat them may contribute to the problem, which is what I was just talking about. So, a word from this website is, toe cramps can vary from being a mild nuisance to being a painful experience that limits function. By working to find the specific reasons of your own toe cramps and by making some simple lifestyle changes, you can end the toe cramps and keep your feet feeling fine. Well, I hope that helps a little bit. I know we all try to find the reasons why we're having so many issues with our feet, our legs, our hands, and arms. But it's a never-ending problem that we deal with, and there's so many ideas and things out there that people suggest. You just got to find the right one for you. Maybe none of them might not be right. Most of the things I've tried don't work. So, in closing, I do want to say I'm thankful and I thank you for your patience in waiting for this episode to drop. I just got back from my procedure I was having, and I didn't realize that I was getting 2 shots, 2 different lumbars in my back. So I came out of there a little groggy from the anesthesia, but everything seemed to be okay and seems to be okay at this point in time. I'm not going to say I noticed any differences because it's still, some time. I guess you got to let it work in there, but they were steroids of some type that they injected into my back, and they did put me under. So you're not awake while they're doing this, but I just wanted to give you that update that I'm doing great. I'm doing fine. Now, one real quick also thing that I want to tell you guys about real quick. Amazon has come to me in a email wanting me to do something for them, but first let me read what it says here, okay? To start things off, we would love it if you would include the Listen on Amazon Music button on your site and show pages if you haven't already. This is a great way to drive traffic to your content and let listeners know you're on Amazon Music. Also, lastly, did you know that you can make your podcast discoverable on Alexa? So Alexa, you can also find my which I know you can always find my podcast there. But I just wanted to let you know that they're asking me to put that on my podcast, which I will be doing just so I can get listeners to my site. But remember one thing, and I've told you this many times, I am not being endorsed. I'm not taking any money from them. All I'm trying to do is get more listeners out there that have the issues that you and myself have. So hopefully these podcast episodes can help them as much as I'm hoping they're helping you. So with that, I'd like to say this week, you guys need to get outside, get some sun. I got rain coming in my area here in California, but the time to enjoy is now. And if you have grandkids, bring your grandkids around. Spend as much time as you can with them. They bring joy to your lives. And sometimes that joy helps out with the pain and issues that you're dealing with. So remember what I always say is don't try any of these things or any suggestions I make before you consult a physician so they can make sure that these are good behaviors to make and it's good make and a good change for your regimen. Until next week, I will talk to you again. As we come to a close, it's my hope this podcast and other sources, such as product reviews that I have discussed today, can better our lives and give us some relief dealing with neuropathy. This episode plus others are posted every Monday on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. And finally, whatever life throws at you, even if it hurts you, just be strong and fight through it. Remember, strong walls shake, but never collapse. Talk to you next Monday.